Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing great. And thank you for clicking onto this video. Please subscribe and please press that like button. We need more people watching this video. Um, Today, I just feel like I need to rant about something. I'll start by talking about there's this a new prime minister of the opposition in the US, the Tories, the Conservative Party. Her name is Kemi Badenoch. I think it's actually like Bad Enoch, but when you say, you gotta say it fast, like Kemi Badenoch, something like that. I think she got that name from her husband. I think the husband is white. And obviously Kemi is just short for a real name. This is just from that, something is not right. Right? Now, I like the lady. I think she's a wonderful lady, highly educated. And all she's a wonderful person. But the reason why I want to make this video is just because I want to talk about something I think it's something I've known for a while, and I'm seeing it pan out. And then I want to connect this to what I've also known for a while. I've just seen it pan out, and it's taught me something, just to see basically what I'm talking about is the Trump victory. Now, the lady, Kemi Badenoch, she's the leader of the opposition in the UK. Okay? And as a black person, you'd expect me to be excited, but I'm not. I'm actually going to encourage that in this video to resign. And people can say, oh, the question is, why am I saying that? Now, a few reasons. But here's the thing. This is where the world is getting this whole thing wrong. Okay? All right. Kemi Badenoch is a Nigerian parents. They left Nigeria, went to England. She was born there, and then they went back to Nigeria, and then they went back to England. Basically people used to do that back in the day. If you're from Africa, people want you to be born there just in case you have to go back. Okay? So she's not English. Let's just put it that way. All these people that like to be born in France and they say, oh, I'm French. Some of them even just move there. They say, I'm French. I don't think that's the way to go about this. I think that's the wrong way to, that's not the right way to go about this. Right? So she's gone there and she become the opposition leader. Now, the thing I want everyone to know is that she'll never be Prime Minister of England. It's just not going to happen. And instead of, I'm saving her from embarrassing herself, because they're going to lose big. The last guy lost. Because remember, people didn't vote for this guy. The party voted for him. Rishi Sunaki. He lost badly. Now, if it was Boris Johnson, I tell you what, if they kept Boris Johnson, I think they could have even done better. They might have still lost, but they could have done better. They lost badly. Okay? Then you have this lady, Nigerian lady, all of a sudden, she's now the opposition, and they think they're going to win. She'll never be Prime Minister of England. I'm going to leave this video, and the next 4 years, if she becomes Prime Minister, you can, we'll come back and talk about it. But I can guarantee you, she'll never be Prime Minister of England. And here's the thing, and I know what some of you are talking, because I know black people like to get excited about this. This is what I don't understand myself. So, we fight really hard in England, in Africa, to become independent. Just like all the other countries have done. They've become independent. And now, we've failed to govern ourselves. But we want to go to the people who already knew how to govern themselves. Because you know what? England is not a big place. It was a small place. It's a small place. People from that small place, through starvation, through hard work, through bubonic plague, through all sorts of stuff, small place, they left that place and conquered the world. A small place It's a tiny place. England ain't that big. So those people there, they don't need your help as someone from outside. And it's not just Africans here. It doesn't matter where you come from, the Middle East, Asia, whatever. Those guys don't need your help. And this is why even England is going backwards. Because now we're into politics of pleasing politics. You gotta be a people pleaser for you to get voted. Because, you gotta please this population. This is multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is full of crap. There should be one culture in any of these countries. These indigenous countries, like in Europe, should be one culture. If you're in England, it's the English culture. That's it. Here, this is what you do. You respect women, you go to school, you speak English, you do that. That's how it should be. If you're in Africa, they have their own culture. Right? But what's happening now is like people are going to these places and take the stuff from where they've come from and take it over there. Some people are even fighting on the streets about weird stuff that the people in England don't even know. Some stuff that happened in their countries, they've taken their problems to this place and they've started fighting each other on the streets of England. Why did you go there? You should have just stayed in your own country and continued fighting. What did you go there for? You're disturbing their peace. The reason why we are going there, it's because these guys have gone through so much, and through that process, they've established something that's welcoming, that's inclusive, and that's a little bit fair. I know people will say, oh, there's racism, and there's this, and there's that, and there's that. Yes, these things will always be there, mate. If you know there's racism with the police, don't do stupid stuff that's going to end up you facing the police. It's simple as that. So, I don't believe this is what's causing all these, even like the racist things going up. Because it doesn't make sense to me that these people or foreigners are going to this place and all of a sudden they want to become political leaders. It doesn't make sense. Kemi Badenoch, I think, should be better off be an advisor to Tinubu in Nigeria. It makes more sense. Because you guys got to realize this. Winston Churchill went and took food away from 3 million Indians to feed his own people. Right? 3 million Indians to feed his own people. Now, imagine if the president, if the prime minister of England is from those people. Do you think they'll be able to do that? They're going to struggle with it. They might not even do it. Okay? Now, I'm not saying what Winston Churchill and whatever what they did was right. No, it wasn't right. But I'm just telling you, when you are connected to the people you're taking care of, it's a different kind of connection. We are all not this. Okay, for instance, I'm good to everybody. Oh, I try to make myself useful. I don't care whether you are Chinese, you are white, or whatever. I try to make myself. If someone needed help, I'll help them. I just don't care. I don't look at people like that. However, my priority, my duty is to my family. That's it. Now, the people in England have created a society where you go there and you can feel at home. Okay? So they don't need anyone from outside telling them how to run their governments or how to do things. They don't need that. Where we come from, or most of these guys where they're coming from, they're not very good places. So if we have to fight anything, people should be going back to where they come from and start fighting change in those countries. Or if you can't go, at least make a YouTube like this and start teaching people about what your thoughts are. Because this is what I don't understand. This is how I know. Like, you cannot be a prime minister of England when you're coming from a place that hasn't even created anything. African countries have been free for the last 60 years. We still haven't developed a developed country in Africa. They are all still like third world countries. And some of these countries have had some of the richest countries when it comes to natural resources, and we've failed to develop it into a developed country. And I say third because you go to Asia, at least there are some countries now which we can consider developed countries. Singapore is one of them. Hong Kong, if you can consider Hong Kong as a country on its own, it's one of them. Japan, even though it wasn't necessarily colonized, but even Malaysia. Most countries in Asia are looking so great. Countries in Africa, there's not one single country in Africa that you can point to and say, oh, that's at the level of Singapore. 60 years, and most of those countries are still relying on getting donation from countries from which they got independence from. So they're not necessarily independent, but you can't blame those people. You have to blame yourselves. The economies are shit. There are no roads. There's nothing going on. There's nothing inspiring going on. It's chaotic for no real reason. Politicians hate each other. They want to kill each other. Instead of trying to come together and develop the country, they're not doing that. But then apparently you're going to leave that country and go to a country that already has everything running properly, and you want to take over. And when the people deny it, you say, oh, they're racist. No, they're not racist. Everyone has their place. The planet is everyone's place. We should all be able to live on this planet. However, and we should all be able to travel. You can go to Singapore. You can go to Phuket. You can go to the US. Everyone should be free to travel. However, every single place has people who belong to that place. This idea of trying to go there, people trying to become prime minister. This is why now you're pushing these people towards the other end. Like, let's say, in a sense, like the far right. Because you're encroaching on their territory. You're encroaching on their own culture. It's not right. It's not right. And every person who's in the diaspora, every person who's an immigrant in any particular country, I'm just going to say this one thing: refrain from politics. Focus more on the business side of things. That's how you gain respect. Because I tell you what, in America right now, the biggest company in America was developed by an immigrant. And that's NVIDIA. It's the biggest company in the USA. This guy is not into politics. They've gone there, they've worked at it, they've created something. And I tell you what, there's a lot of white people there investing, making money with NVIDIA. NVIDIA has made a lot of people millionaires. It employs over 30,000 people. Out of that, 75% of those people are millionaires. Out of that 75%, I think it's 70% of them have $20 million or more through investing in the company. Now, that's a contribution everyone is going to love. That's why they want you to go there. Don't go there and try to be a politician. If let's say you're born there and there's a bigger community, let's say there's a bigger community of, Jamaicans, if we say in England, maybe be a representative for your community. But don't try to go there and be the prime minister of that country. It doesn't even make sense. I think it's been selfish, it's been delusional, and it's stupid. Because what if Kemi Badenoch becomes prime minister and India and Nigeria go to war? That's going to be a problem. I know it's easier to say, she's the Prime Minister of England, so Nigeria, stuff them. But it's very hard to see people that look like you, who have similar names like you, kids and whoever, their skin getting burnt because of the soldiers you've sent to. It's not going to be easy. Whoever is playing people in these left organizations, or the craziest thing in England, that's the Conservative Party. Because let me tell you something as well. Conservative for white people and for every other person is different, has a different meaning. They want to conserve something for themselves, and I don't blame them. Because how many of you guys who are in Africa right now would want, I know most of you guys would probably even prefer to have a white guy ruling you, because our leaders have failed lamentably. It's hopelessness in most of these African countries. That's why you see kids risking their lives trying to go to Europe. because there's too much hopeless, terrible economies. The presidents are just idiots majority of the time. They make dumb decisions. They just, it's crazy out there. But it's people like this Kemi Badenoch thing and people like even Harris that are giving rise to people like Trump. And I have nothing against Trump personally. Excuse me, guys. I'm not feeling 100% today, but I needed to do this video. A few years ago, I made a video when he was still president, and he said, "Oh, these guys are coming from shithole countries," and everyone sort of was upset about it, especially African countries. Oh, he called your country shithole. But let's just be real. I'm gonna call them. Most African countries are shitholes. The guy was honest. The healthcare system is terrible. You will die from a simple headache because people don't even know what they're doing. That's a shithole place. When it rains, you can't drive because there's no roads. It's just like all flooded. That's a shithole country. If it's the schools, the education system, there is no education system in most of these African countries. Nothing happening. It's hopelessness. That's shithole. You just have to admit it. Sometimes you gotta accept something for you to change it. It's like if you're an alcoholic. At some point you gotta realize that, oh God damn, I'm an alcoholic. I need to do something about this. If you don't realize and accept the situation you are in, it's very hard to change. He called some countries, he called, I think it was Puerto Rico, he said they're floating garbage. It wasn't even Trump. It was one of the guys at his rally, and then at one of his rallies, and everyone sort of got offended by that. But I tell you what, majority of Puerto Ricans pretty much might have even said yes. Because he's won. Even in areas where there's a lot of Puerto Ricans, Trump won. People don't want to go to start living this, like in places where they've run away from. We gotta, if we want to fight, let's fight from where we come from. That's it. Because I tell you something I've learned from Trump. If Trump ran against like a white American man, that American man could have beat him. Now, the Democrats want to force people into accepting individuals that don't think, and rightly so, they'll have their best interest at heart. This idea of trying to bring people of different colors, it's ridiculous. This multiculturalism, and you are going to accept this person. Nah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I hope all these political parties in Europe, in America, will learn something. And all of you guys in the diaspora, refrain from politics. Try to do business. Get your job, make some money. This is why I like what they do in the Middle East. In the Middle East, you cannot vote, you cannot get into politics. You go there, you work, you retire, you get the head out. Simple as that. That should be everywhere in Europe. You go there, we will allow you to work, but afterwards, see you later. That's it. Or if you want to stay, you can stay, but you're never going to vote. And you're never going to be a citizen. You'll be a permanent resident. That's it. That's fine. People should be able, if they want, after they retire, they can take their money and go somewhere else. Go live somewhere else. Trump won because you guys have gone extreme. You're trying to go to these countries that have gone through so much. They have a history. They have something like a pillar. Because some of the places in Africa, politicians can't even come together to do something for their people. If you look at South Africa, now there's MK party. There's this party. And they hate each other. So and guess what? The white guys can sense something. So what they're gonna do is now go cause between the wedge there, make it grow and grow and grow. And while these black people are fighting each other, the white political party in South Africa is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a simple stuff. It has happened over and over again. And black people keep falling for it because of so much hatred of one another. With Elon Musk in Trump's ear, I don't know if there'll be a black rule in South Africa in the next 4 years, after the next 4 years, man. You know, it's just, this is why they fail, because they can't get together. You know, the Berlin Conference was Europeans coming together because they didn't want to fight each other. So there's enough here, let's come together and do something. America was founded by very young people who came together and said, you know what, let's create a country here. And it doesn't mean they agreed on everything, they didn't. And they had to pick a leader, and every year they'll pick another leader. They didn't want to become president at the same time. It doesn't work like that. But that's what everyone wants in Africa. They want to become the president right now, you know. So, my message to Kemi Badenoch is, please resign. If you want to help out your community, take up maybe that position. You know, because it's not going to end well. There's no way you're going to become the Prime Minister of England. Even the people that are smiling in your face right now with you, they don't want you to be there. And you can say, oh, I'm going to fight. What are you fighting for? You know, those people don't need your help. They already got it. Because let me just talk a little bit about England, actually, because that place, I think, is going down. It's really, really going down, you know. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see. You know, they're losing their own culture. They're losing the aristocrats and you know, the guys with a different English accent. You know, because now even just being that is like a bad thing. Kemi Badenoch, if I were you, my advice to you is resign. You can pick up a lower position. Let them white guys rule their own country. They don't need anybody from Africa, from the Middle East, from Asia to help them out. They already got it figured out. That's why we are going there. Where we have a problem is where we come from. That's where the problem is. And that's why you need to fix. All right, guys. Thank you. I hope I made... this was just a rant, actually. But I hope you kind of understood where I'm coming from. And let me hear in your comments what your views are. Thank you. Goodbye.